The Batman 2022 by Matt Reeves is one of the best DC movies ever to be made. I have seen this movie, like about 10 times till now. Every time I see this, I admire this movie even more. It is so beautiful in every way. It feels like a Batman comic book come to life. I had my doubts for this movie when Robert Pattinson was first announced to take on the role of Batman. But the movie put all my doubts to rest, and I honestly feel that Robert Pattinson is the most accurate live-action version of the Dark Knight to ever exist. Now, not so long back we had the confirmation that we are getting a sequel for the movie on October 2025. I wish it came earlier, but I do not mind too much. I would rather have Matt Reeves take all the time in the world to write a beautiful script and give us an even better movie than the first one. Even though the Batman was nearly perfect, there were few spots where I would love the sequel to improve upon. To start off, I feel we have not seen much of Gotham City in this universe. I mean, I absolutely loved whatever little that we saw of the city, but I would like to see way more of this version of Gotham City. There were a lot of shots of the city which I felt Matt Reeves wanted to show, but he could not do so because he had to shoot indoors due to the spread of the pandemic back then. But I feel now, in the sequel, we will get to see a lot more of the city. Some of the locations I want to see are Gotham University, an external view of the Arkham Asylum, the GCPD headquarters, the Wayne Manor from the outside, as well as Blackgate Prison. I feel, since the first movie focused more on the detective aspect, the sequel should focus more on action and suspense. I would like the sequel to take a lesson from the Arkham games, especially Arkham Knight, which is more focused on the action aspect of Batman. I would love Batman to have a more upgraded costume. His costume was beautiful in the first movie. But logically and practically speaking, from the point of view of the universe that it is set in, there has to be a lot of improvements in order to make it more functional to take on more advanced type of enemies. I would not change it too much. I will like to add the white eyes, plus his lower body needs some protection as well. If you look at his suit, his upper body is way more protected than his lower body. I think they need to put more armor below his utility belt in a way that it does not ruin the iconic look of the first costume. The last thing would be that I would like is some modifications on his wingsuit. His wingsuit kind of felt weird in the first movie. I know it's just a prototype, but I feel it still could have been shaped like a bat. Now, the most important thing that I want to see, and I really felt that the first movie somehow lacked, was the Bruce Wayne persona of Robert Pattinson. There was literally no difference between the personalities of Bruce Wayne and Batman, other than the costume, of course. I would also like to see a change in his hairstyle, which made him look like a depressed emo teenager in the first movie. I want him to look like he did in Christopher Nolan's Tenet or this movie he did a while back called Good Time. Another thing that I would like to see Matt Reeves do in the sequel is kind of make this universe not so grounded and try and involve some partially super-powered meta-human characters. I would say that I would love to see characters like Gorilla Grodd, Poison Ivy, Killer Croc and Mr. Freeze. I mean, I would prefer this universe to be like the Arkham universe, where there are characters which are totally grounded while there are also characters which can be called meta-humans to some degree. If Matt Reeves can do all these things successfully, I think I would really appreciate, and I can truly give the Batman the title of the best Batman franchise of all time. Now, that was all that I had to tell you about my opinion and what I want to see in the sequel of this franchise. Before I go further, I just want to make a small request. Talking about comic book movies, games and TV shows is my biggest passion. If you want me to continue doing this, I want you to do me a small favor. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me. Okay, so let us get back to the video. Now, I have a few official updates related to the sequel of the Batman movie that I am going to cover in a few seconds. Many of my viewers were asking me the exact date of start of filming of the movie. Well, now I finally have an official update on this because the executive producer for the movie, Michael Uslan, has revealed that due to the ongoing WGA strike, the filming for the Batman has been delayed to January 2024. We have one character as the main villain confirmed to be a part of the sequel. I am talking about none other than the iconic Two-Face aka Harvey Dent. In an article by The Collider which was uploaded yesterday, states that the character of Harvey Dent is locked in for the sequel, and the same can also be said for the actor who will be playing the role. Yes, we have two actors which have entered the final round of casting selection to play the role. The article states that either one of Josh Hartnett or Joel Edgerton will end up playing the role of Two-Face. And it further states that we will only see Harvey Dent in this movie, not Two-Face. I mean, we may get a few glimpses of Two-Face at the very end of the film, which might set him up for the next movie in the franchise. If this is true, I am really on board with this approach, trying to develop every character from scratch. They are not straight up introducing us the villains falling out of the sky. They are showing a bit of the origin and arc of every character in the Batman Rogues Gallery. In the first movie, we got a good idea of the origins of the Penguin, Catwoman, Gordon, and most importantly Batman himself. We also saw a very early prototype design of the Batmobile and the Batcycle in the first movie. It would be really nice to see both these vehicles getting an upgrade in the sequel and maybe get an early introduction of the Batwing. What I mean to say is that the whole universe has taken the approach of developing everything from scratch very seriously, which I think is something I really wanted to see. This is basically like the Gotham TV show, but with a higher budget and more true to the actual source material. It's almost like a fifth season of the Gotham show, but set in a different universe, if you know what I mean. So, I am really happy with this news of the inclusion of Two-Face. I also hope that they include some more supernatural characters like Gorilla Grodd, Killer Croc, Solomon Grundy or Mr. Freeze in this movie, or at least build them up for future movies or spin-off shows. That is all I have to say. Do you have any more idea that can make this movie even better? If so, please share it in the comments below.